was not just Prop 8, but during the election, during the election, he made an astounding stand to back gay marriage. But in a way, Bill, though, the California Supreme Court, which is an elected body, I mean, they're appointed, but then they're confirmed by the people, broke it open and then said that the California Constitution, that under the Constitution in California, that same-sex unions should be allowed, that marriages should be allowed, and then the initiative process brought forth by people who changed the Constitution. We can change the Constitution in California by initiative process. And that's what Proposition 8 was.
Right.
And
we have to remind people that this was supported financially by the Mormon Church and by the Catholic Church.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to cast aspersions on either. There are good people who are Mormons and good people who are Catholics. But it was an initiative funded by some very conservative elements within those bodies, and Proposition 8 did especially well in the area that I'm from. But I believe the people, even in my area, they have moved on this issue. I think attitudes across the country are moving very, very quickly, and that's why on Monday, as word was getting around that the president and his administration were considering issuing what's called an amicus brief. For those viewers who know what an amicus brief is, it's a friend of the court brief, which tells the court what the President of the United States feels as representing the American people. And his Solicitor General under the Department of Justice can write a brief, an argument to the court stating what the President believes on behalf of the people. And I'm just so proud that yesterday the President weighed in the case. I was, just before I got on the show, I was reading through the amicus brief, and it's a very, very proud document to me that he's telling the court the Equal Protection Clause, 14th Amendment, should apply here. Heightened scrutiny should apply.
Now, the New York Times this morning salutes the President for asking the court to overturn Proposition 8, but makes the point that, sadly, in their opinion, the President didn't go far enough. He didn't say make marriage equality the rule of the land in every state, not just in California. Do you think he should have gone that extra step?
Well, I think I would have liked him to go further. However, he also weighed in on the Windsor case, and for all intents and purposes, if both these cases are ruled on positively by the court, from our point of view, LGBT equality, the Windsor case calls for overturning
Defense of Marriage Act,
Defense of Marriage Act, which would basically extend federal recognition to marriages where people are allowed to be married. And in the case of Proposition 8, what I think the Times is criticizing him for is that it mainly applies to California. It would not be a summary. But the fact is that people would be married in California, New York, where it's legal. The federal government, those rights would follow them wherever they chose to live. And so, for all intents and purposes, marriage would be available to people across the country.
It's awesome. Hi, this is Bill Press. To see more Full Court Press, go to current.com/getcurrent to make sure you get current TV.